I got this Dark Justice League out to review, but I didn't think I have much to say about it. I reckon I at least have more to say about it than most anyone else has said about it. At the time that this came out, the only discussion was Johnny Constant doesn't belong on a team. Why can't Johnny Constant say bugger anymore? Why can't Johnny Constant suck on a fag anymore? A cigarette, not a gay fella. Cigarettes are still called fags over here. In the northeast, they are called tabs too. I could have said tabs, but I didn't think any of you would have recognised tabs as meaning cigarettes. I have made no excuses for comics that use tarot cards as part of the plot. Any comic that has a tarot card in it is automatically bad in my eyes. Even worse, these are New 52 tarot cards. These are probably an edgy reboot of tarot cards. Xanadu by Olivia Newton-John is the central character in this, I guess. She is the narrator and she's on the team. If you were a Xanadu by Olivia Newton-John fan, you were well catered to in the New 52. You had her in this series, and you had her in Gargoyle Knights and all. This story also focuses on Cara Delevingne, and this is actually something that I liked about this opening story. This is a character that I always felt wasn't done very well, even in the heyday of her appearances in Suicide Squad or in the Day of Vegans. I think starting with the New 52, this is one of the very, very few characters that they actually managed to make work a bit better. The writer of this is Spike Milligan, but he doesn't last long on the title. And if I recall, the series gets through a few writers before landing on Jim Tomatoes, who writes it until its end. Okay, right, let's do the premise. The premise of Dark Justice League, which is a terrible name, I hate it, and at no point in this series do they ever refer to themselves as such. They're not even affiliated with the Justice League in this. It is a magic team. A team for the supernatural characters. They say absolutely do need a team like this. They have so many magic and mystical characters who are otherwise left on the wayside because there never is any need for most of them to have solo books. A team is a good place to have them. DC have had plenty of magic teams before. There was, just before the New 52, there was the Shady Pact, which I think did some things better. Chiefly the name. Before that, there was the Sentinels of Magic. There was the Conjurers. All in all, it is a good idea. The problem Dark Justice League has, and it is a problem they have all had, is that there are too many characters that belong on the team. Having this team without Dr. Fates seems bizarre. The lack of Man-Thing feels crazy to me. And then there is also Gargoyle, who totally belongs on a team like this. Beyond them, there are characters like Smurf Devil, Reggae Man, even Captain Marbles, the real one, Biffy Baston. And I am not mentioning Spectre or Pantsless Stranger, or characters that are basically too powerful to be on a team. And also Detective Chimp. What we get is usually a few key characters, like Satana and Dead Boy, and then writer favourites like Eros. Spike Milligan did a Vertigo title with this character in the 90s, and now he is on Spike Milligan's Dark Justice League team. I don't care for him. And I had no idea that this video would have so many cutaways. I am saying that knowing that I haven't even come to the part that I went into this video expecting to be the source of all the cutaways. The New 52 was a miserable reboot. Nobody liked it. The first issue sold well, but nobody liked it. It was the John Jeffries and Dan Diddy Dido Moron Factory reboot. I was there in real time, experiencing this disaster, and it put me off DC for so bloody long. With hindsight, I have come to discover that there were good New 52 books. Weirdly, there was this little subsection that dealt with magic or the supernatural, and they were mostly decent quality. You had this, you had Pantsless Stranger after the first 3 issues. There was Gargoyle Knights. You had Animals Man. Apples I Dracula, despite the dreadful art. This, or that, or this, or that. They often crossed over too. There was this nice interconnected little side of the New 52 that was better than the rest of the New 52. To stop you from enjoying them too much, they still had references to the rest of the New 52, or they would end up involved in awful New 52 crossover events. But the funny thing about the New 52 is that almost anything that was good or popular could have been done without a reboot. Batman, for example. A reboot was not necessary for Batman to have that run or that story that people liked. It was totally unnecessary, and it only existed for John Jeffries and his enormous ego. On this page, we have that Where's Wally character that I have pointed out a few times in the first issues of New 52 books, but I have never explained it. This character was meant to be like the thing that created the New 52, or something like that. Every first issue had her hidden somewhere, usually in plain sight. Finding her is the closest thing they add to entertainment in a lot of the books. This first issue, we don't really get to see the star and team come together. I guess this sequence with the Justice League is meant to, in some way, bridge the gap between the stars and the title, including the Justice League name. They are fighting Cara Delevingne, and then we start getting introduced to the main characters, like Satana, and they are parts of the New 52 where it is clear nobody is writing it with the mentality that this is a reboot. Satana and Batman have a pre-established relationship, and then so do and Johnny Constant. I feel this video is getting quite long, so I will quickly say I agree. Johnny Constant doesn't belong on a team, but he does belong in the book, if that makes sense. I think the second Dark Justice League series, the one by Jim Tiny Onion Ave, I think that did a much better job of incorporating Johnny Constant as a non-member but frequent ally or source of conflict. You should be allowed to say bollocks, though. Come on, bollocks is a great word. Some more baffling shit from the New 52. Superman and Wonder Woman and the Justice League have their origins retold. They start over from scratch. But Spit and Swallow doesn't start from fresh. Somehow, Spit is dating Dead Boy before the reboot even starts. It's not even clear in this first story if Spit from Spit and Swallow is meant to be a member of the team. I do not know if this issue accomplishes much beyond setting up the bad guy that brings the team together. Then we also have a problem of repetition, because that is exactly the same way John Jeffries brought the Justice League together in their first story. And if it's meant to be a parallel to, again, justify the name here, then it fails, because it just feels like they are using the same plot summary again. I wound up with enough to say, but if you pay attention, not much of it about this issue itself. This is a trade series. Get it in collected edition. It is not a story on its lonesome. Some nice art. I didn't mention the art, but it's good. And the writing, or the scripting at least, is good enough. I will give it 7 thumbs up.